Shema'yah Bey, author of the Ritual book series. I'm Shema'yah Bey, the author of the Ritual book series. This excerpt is How to Capture a Soul, book number 1. Fortune Hunters, New Orleans, Louisiana. Lulu drove down the highway thinking about Lex. Paris remained silent because he was deep in thought. Lulu's military contact discovered Lex was a super soldier. A super soldier was someone who operated beyond normal human limits or abilities. A private group of geneticists altered Lex's genes. Lex received an additional 150 years of life. After the alteration, Lex became a member of the transhumanism community. The transhumanism community called themselves H+. The H+ community had intellectuals who desired global transformation. The geneticists who worked for H+ discovered the secret to blending mankind with the beast. Those transhumanists also blended human beings or animal man with robots and plants. Lex, along with the H+ community, desired the 3 stages. Those 3 stages were plant man, mineral man, and androgynous man. The stage of androgyny was the ultimate godlike status. Lex wasn't personally interested in androgyny, but the OAU was. They believed many of the fallen gods were androgynous. Their combined masculine and feminine qualities were considered a sign of perfection. On the Hawaiian island of Kalikikua, those fallen gods revealed their plan. They wanted physical bodies engineered to their specification. So, the OAU engineered the transgendered movement. On the realm of androgyny, those fallen spirits waited for transgendered bodies. Lulu's psychopathic brother Lex was born Alexander Fortune. Their father was Rigel Fortune, an African-American college professor. Lex's mother, Alberta, was married to Rigel for 30 years. Rigel impregnated Lulu's mother, Josefina Tapia. Rigel met Josefina during her sophomore year at New York University. She gave him sex for a passing grade. He received an unwanted baby, forced retirement from NYU, and a bitter divorce. Josefina, along with her parents, believed Lex wanted revenge. God Body 3X shot Lex for attempting to murder Lulu. Josefina sought the protection of heroin and crack. Her parents sought the protection of the Babalao. They weren't members of the Yoruba religion, but they needed advice. The word Babalao meant the father of mysteries. The father of mysteries communicated with the Opa Ifa. That was the wooden divination tray. The Opa Ifa communicated with the Ikan, or the sacred palm nuts. The Ikan, along with the Opa Ifa, revealed Lulu's future. Lola, who was Lulu's grandmother, hated the Babalaos, so she prayed the Catholic Rosary for divine intervention. Lulu's grandfather, Jose Rafael Carrera, joined his wife's petition. When Lulu turned 9, the Lord answered their prayer. Lola won the local Dominican church's 50-50 raffle. The prize was 4 days and 3-night vacation in New Orleans. Lulu's grandparents stayed at the Pontchartrain Hotel. They had a chance encounter with Ida Mae Boucher. Ida Mae was Paradise's estranged godmother, Aunt Ida. Aunt Ida was Lola and Josefina Rafael Carrera's housekeeper for the weekend. Aunt Ida discovered Lola lamented over Lulu's picture. The gruesome picture was Lulu's eardrum removal surgery. In broken English, Jose Rafael Carrera told Aunt Ida about Lex. Aunt Ida got one of her Spanish-speaking co-workers to translate. After she heard their story, she mentioned Madame Montoyer, and they wanted to meet her. Aunt Ida took Lola and Jose Rafael Carrera to Madame Montoyer's home. At that particular time, Nina was her mother's translator and assistant. Lola explained the situation to Madame Montoyer. Madame Montoyer looked to Nina for a better translation. Nina translated Lola's broken English into French. Lola desired to keep Lulu and her family safe. Nina told Lola and Jose Rafael Carrera her mother's fee, but Madame Montoyer's price was more than they could afford. Lola looked deep into Madame Montoyer's mystical brown eyes. Madame Montoyer and Lola had an ESP, or a psychic connection. Lola looked at her husband, grabbed his hand, and he sincerely said, "We don't have that kind of money." "What do you have?" said Nina shrewdly. "I have an insurance policy that I can cash in," he said. Nina translated and Madame Montoyer waved, "No need." She stood, walked to her altar room, and returned with an amulet. In French she said, "I knew you were coming." "Gracias, the little boy told me you would help," said Lola in Spanish. Nina looked to Jose Rafael Carrera to translate. Lola had seen Charlie Boy, Madame Montoya's deceased twin. He told Lola his sister would help her. With true mafia motives, Madame Montoya made Lola an offer she couldn't refuse. Lola agreed to accept the magic amulet in exchange for a favor. The favor was that one day she'd ask Lola for help. Lola and Jose Rafael Carrera agreed to the terms, and Lulu was protected. Divine forces posted around Lulu. Lex and the OAU never approached Lulu or his family again. Lola and Jose Rafael Carrera visited Madame Montoya up until her death. Paradise never knew Lulu's grandparents were in her home. She never knew her grandmother recruited his grandparents. If she had attended Madame Montoya's funeral, she would have met them. Lola and Jose Rafael Carrera joined the secret order of Levant Premier Juan. When Lulu was 16 years old, he was initiated. When he turned 21, he joined the 21st of June on the 21st of June. The secret order gave him the Atlantis ring for empowerment and protection. Lulu valued his mystical ring along with Madame Montoya's magical amulet. In actuality, Lulu's supernatural amulet was 2 dimes. He was told to place them under the insoles of each shoe. Since the age of 9, Lulu had walked with those 2 dimes under his feet. Those infused silver objects attracted divine protection. The energy or divine force caused Lex to forget Lulu ever existed. 12 hours before Lulu rescued Paradise, Madame Montoya asked Lola to return the favor. She appeared in Lola's dream, told her to rescue her granddaughter. Madame Montoya also told Lola not to reveal Paradise's true identity to Lulu. Lola called Lulu on his smartphone. She told him to leave Minneapolis, rent a car, drive to Devil's Lake, and to retrieve a distressed member of the 21st. As Lulu and Paradise sped down the interstate, Lulu said, "At the age of 22, I earned my bachelor's degree in mathematics. I graduated from Hunter College in New York City with a 4.0 GPA. Paradise nodded. "Very impressive. You're handsome too, and smart." Lulu smiled and stopped talking. Paradise wasn't offended. She realized she shouldn't be flirting, but she wondered how he got into the bounty hunting business. Lulu worked as a forensic accountant for a major insurance company, but he abandoned his successful career for a private investigator's job. A New York City private investigator named Bernard Jackson hired Lulu. Bernard was Lulu's best friend and best man at his wedding. Lulu called his childhood friend Blurry. Blurry wore contact lenses to correct his terrible eyesight. Blurry was 3 years older than Lulu. They had met in Kung Fu class on Lulu's 9th birthday. Blurry was raised by his foster mother, Wanda Jackson, in Harlem, New York. When Lulu turned 23, he joined Blurry's private investigation firm. 3 years later, Blurry partnered with Lulu. They opened an international bounty hunters company called Fortune Hunters. Blurry was a trained librarian and a United States Army Ranger. Blurry had no affiliation with Levant Premier Juan, but he was affiliated with the Brotherhood of Light. Their headquarters was in the Canadian Rockies of Alberta. Blurry's esoteric society followed the teachings of Sanat Kumara. Legend stated that Sanat Kumara lived millions of lifetimes throughout the universe. Sanat Kumara, the ever young, had 3 brothers. The Kumara brothers appeared on Earth as little boys, endowed with supernatural powers. Their father was the creator god Brahma. When Sanat Kumara lived in Atlantis as an adult, he established the path of initiation. Cicero, who was Paradise's great-grandfather, was also affiliated with Atlantis. In Cicero's ancient incarnation, he was a member of the Shema'yah Bey. They were the disciples of Haru. They were the disciples of Horus in the magical land of Kim, also known as Egypt. The Shema'yah Bey preserved Thoth the Atlanteans' magical secrets. According to the legend, Horus created the ancient Egyptian mystery systems to preserve his grandfather's knowledge. Ancient lore claims Sanat Kumara met Thoth in Atlantis. They attended the banquet of the gods in the great hall of Amenti. Thoth, the priest king of Atlantis, was accompanied by his wife. Her name was Sachet, the high priestess of magic and astrology. Together they joined the other lords of light at the table of the gods. Sanat Kumar stood and looked at Thoth. Sanat Kumar was approximately 12 feet tall. He had bronze skin, long white hair, and dazzling blue eyes. He looked toward the heavens, returned his gaze to the Lords of Light, and spoke in Atlantean. Atlantis is headed for self-destruction. Our culture of war has threatened another peaceful nation. As I speak, the military has infiltrated one of the 7 Rishi cities in Rama. High Priestess Shashat and High Priest Tahuti can you explain the corruption. Can you explain why the priesthood turned its back on the light? Tahuti, aka Thoth, stood. He quieted the Lords of Light. They responded in Atlantean. Before he spoke, Shashat gently tugged his majestic robe. He turned, she nodded, and he smiled. Thoth's stature was equal to Sanat Kumar. He had pearly white teeth and bluish black skin. His curly hair was the color of lapis lazuli. Thoth held his composure, looked towards the heavens, and bowed. He returned his attention to the Lords of Light. Thoth wiped the sweat from his brow and inhaled deeply, and commandingly said, Bien insu dal dai dau Sanat Kumura. Dau demian dau natets. Asfin sanati di hain enu dau u. Thoth said, blessing to the gods and goddesses, divine Sanat Kumura. The sacred crystal has corrupted many priests. Return to the light, or the Atlantean Republic will be destroyed. The Lords of Light heard Thoth's warning, frowned, and continued to eat. After the banquet, Sanat Kumar talked to Thoth. He told him to reduce the power of the Atlantean crystal. Thoth complied because the inhabitants of Atlantis were unruly. Those powerful crystals made the Atlantean priesthood feel invincible. Their arrogance caused them to abandon the ancient teachings of the light, or the supreme god. The Atlanteans valued their power crystals, high technology, and conquest. Thoth and Shashat abandoned Atlantis because the army attacked one of the Rishi cities. Rama's priest king raised his hands towards the heavens. He sang a yoga mantra, and the Atlantean army dropped dead. Sanat Kumar disconnected the power to the Atlantean crystals. Those energy crystals powered the entire Atlantean empire. When the power ceased, the empire's etheric grid or protective force field stopped working. The Atlanteans were humiliated by the military defeat, so Gurkha was commissioned to fly his Vimana, or spaceship, over a Rishi city. He dropped the Iron Thunderbolt and destroyed the entire Varishnis and Andakas races. The Rama Empire retaliated with an earthquake weapon. The entire continent of Atlantis was flooded and sunk under the sea. The Lords of Light fled Atlantis in their cloaked spaceships. From the stars they watched the destruction and wept. Those forgotten Lords of Light abandoned the earth, but they continued to seed or create humans on other planets and faraway galaxies. To read more of How to Capture a Soul, it's available at www.theritualbook.club.